Hello, my crafty friends. This is a kind of a prep video for the Flower Fairies book that Tanya and I are going to be working on in our craft togethers for May and June. And we are going to be crafting on Tuesdays at noon Central Time and Thursdays at 1 Central Time through May and June in order to try and get this book done in 2 months. Um, this is a kind of a big project for us, and we've been gathering stuff for a while, but we haven't really made specific plans on how we're going to use the stuff that we've gathered. So a lot of it is going to be kind of done on the fly, or as we go along, we will make decisions about that. I'm just going to show you the kinds of things that we have gathered, and so if you want to play along, then you can gather a few things and play along with us. Now, we're doing a Flower Fairies themed book. You can play along and use mushrooms or insects or butterflies or dragons. You can use anything you want. You could use, seriously, any kind of theme that you want. Bees would be a fun theme to do. And you can make a themed book along with us, but just collecting stuff that goes with your theme. You don't have to do Flower Fairies. Tanya and I just both had different versions of this book. We both have the complete book of Flower Fairies by Cicely Mary Barker, but they're different years. They were put out in different years, and so they're put together a little bit differently. We are not going to be working in this book. We're going to be taking stuff out of this book to work in another book. And but these are the kinds of images that we will be using that are in this book. And the book, what we're going to use to make our journal in are these books. I sent Tanya one. I think she's using one from 1903. I had one from 1902 that I was going to use, but I can't find it. So I'm using this one from 1911, Supreme Court Reporter. They're old, obviously old books, but they're also very well made, and they have a glued in, I think it is sewn and glued binding, and they both have over 800 pages. 863 pages is how much mine has. I think Tanya's has 870 something pages. So they're big books with pretty thin paper. And so we're going to be altering this book, which means the basis for all of our pages are going to be the pages in this book. Now, it's just text, so you could use any book. If you use one that's just text, then that fades all to the background when you're putting your stuff in it. And so other than, worrying about, bad words or something, you probably don't need to worry about what kind of book it is. The book that we're using is a little over 10 inches tall by 7 inches wide. So 10 by 7. And then this is about 1.5 inches, I think. Yes, about 1.5 inches spine. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to kind of prepare a few pages. We're not going to prepare this whole book in advance. We'll prepare things as we go, but we are going to start out by leaving about 10 pages in here. And then what we're going to do is we're using a ruler just because it's easy, but you can take them out however you want. But you want to leave a little bit. I don't know if you can even see that, but I want you to see kind of what it, you want to leave a little bit there so that you don't, so the binding is still intact and healthy. You don't want to mess up your binding. And then we're going to take out, because these pages are so thin and there's so many of them, we're going to take out 4 pages. Oops. Okay, so I've got 4 pages taken out here, And hold on to these. Besides, you can use them for all kinds of other things. We may use some of them to build pockets or something. I don't know, but hold on to those. You'll want them for something later. And then what our plan is at the moment is to use 2 glues to glue the pages together, because it will just make it secure but easy to move on. You won't be stuck with you won't be stuck with having like Mod Podge and having to do them, with one page now and then. And we're just going to take a glue stick in the middle, but in order to keep it from being a big issue with pages coming open at the edges, we're going to run a bead of art glitter glue, and I'm going to go inside the top and bottom of those pages that we took out, and we're going to run a bead of glue right, whoops, not that far, not that close to the edge. We're going to run a bead of glue right along the edge, because this will make it more secure. And then we're going to okay, I did that too soon. Okay, then we're just going to shut the book, and that will hopefully lay that page down right on top of the other one. And then you can come back in and really press those pages together. Okay, so then you've got 2 pages together. And we decided we have plenty of pages in this book, and they are thin. So we're going to go ahead and after we took out 4 pages and glued those 2 together, but that the 4 pages were in between, we're going to go ahead and glue 1 more page to it. Okay, so and you can use whatever kind of glue you want. This is just the way that we've decided to do it. Because we want the pages to stay together, but we want to make it as easy as possible to glue them. Okay, so now we've got 3 pages glued together, and you can see these pages are so thin that you can see my bead of glue. That shows you how thin these pages are. Now, what you might get a book that's pages are not that thin, and putting 2 together will be fine. But we decided we needed to do 3. So we're going to do that. And then we'll turn that page. And we're going to take 1 page here and turn it over so that it's out of the way. And then we're going to tear out 4. The ruler just makes your tears really straight, and make sure you leave just a little bit of paper in there to keep the spine strong. Now that one didn't tear good, so I'm going to take it out. And then we're going to do the same thing that I did on the last page. And you want to go ahead and try to, put glue all over it. You don't want to leave big spaces without glue, because this glue also is some of the strength, of your pages. And then we're going to run a bead of glue down there. And then we're just going to shut the book. Okay, so then we've got that one. And now we've got this one. Just rub it really good and make sure it's glued down. And then we'll pick that up and go ahead and add one more to it. This way you're taking out a lot of pages and making some space in here to work, but you're not what's the word I'm trying to say? You're not losing the integrity of the binding. You can also do it like that. You don't have to close the book. When you've got several pages in between that you've torn out, it works better to close it. But when you're going straight to the next one, I don't know that it's as necessary. Okay, so now I've got, I have turned 7 pages into one. Okay, now this book has over 800 pages in it. So if we do that all the way through the book, we're still going to end up with, 120 pages or something like that. And that's, a sheet like this, which would mean then we would have twice that many pages to work on. So we may end up gluing some more together. One reason we're not going ahead and doing all of this in advance is because we don't know for sure what we're going to be doing in it. So we're just going to do a few like that at the front. And then we're going to flip back here and we're going to, leave a few. And we're going to do the same thing in the back. And we'll do, I don't know how many, a few like that in the front and in the back. And that's all the prep work we're going to do in advance of this book. Now, we're going to decorate the cover. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but I'm thinking about using her as part of the decoration on the cover. But she might go in a window and a box inside. I don't know. Like I said, we haven't, made all our plans. I am going to show you some of the other things that we have collected just to give you an idea of the kinds of things we're going to be working with. And of course, depending on what your theme is, you could probably find some of these kinds of things to use with your theme. One thing we're going to use is some napkins. We've got 3 different kinds here. Now we may use other napkins, but we're going to use these 3 for sure. Tanya and I each have some of these. And then Tanya found these little books at the Dollar Tree. We don't know how we're going to use it. We just found it. It was cute. We thought it'd be fun to incorporate in the book. So she bought those and gave me one. And then we have some die cuts that we're going to try to do a tunnel or a 3-dimensional kind of thing. And that will probably be in the middle of the book. And we may use about this much of the book to build this thing. So we've got a whole bunch of die cuts in here, way more than we can use just for that. And she and I may end up doing something different with these. I may do one thing and she may do something else. So you'll get to see 2 different techniques. I'm not positive about that because we do have a couple of different ideas about it. And then I found this book and I just cut it right half, right down the middle, and sent her the back half, and I kept the front half. But there's all kinds of fun stuff in here that could be used, not only the fairies, but the leaves and stuff we can use to put in our book, which will be fun. So we don't know how we're going to use them yet, but we've got it to use. This is also a Flower Fairies coloring book, and these are the same images by what did I say? What's her name? Cicely Mary Barker. I keep wanting to call her Mary Cicely, and I know that's wrong. So, and so I just tore this book in half and gave half of it to Tanya. And so we have different, we have different images, but we both got coloring book. And then I've also got this little book, Poppy, The Adventures of a Fairy. I don't know if I'll use it or not, but I might. So I've stuck that in, and I have a couple of really pretty Kleenex, not Kleenexes, handkerchiefs that I thought might be fun to use. So I just stuck those in. I have some rub-on transfers that looked like they might be fun to use. So I stuck those in. I found some pictures from another book, a Victorian scrapbook, I think was the name of the book. And, you know, there's some pictures. And I guess it's just mainly these two pictures right here that I'm going to use. And then I had a little book called The Fairy Princess, The Invitation, that has some really pretty images. And so I stuck some of those in here. I used some of this book for something else. But that's some more images that I've got in here. And then this book, I am not sure what the name of this book was, but it was another fairy book. And I just took it apart, and it had these double pages. So this was really nice because now I've got both sides, but I'm not wasting anything, which I like the way that book was put together. But it's got a lot of different stuff in it. I don't know how I'll use it, but I have it, so I'm gonna incorporate some of that in there as well. And then let me put these back in here so I don't get things messed up. And then I've got some happy mail that was sent to me by different people. I'm just going to show you kind of what's in there. Because this is part of what we're going to use. It might give you ideas of where to go look. Here's some paper that has some flower fairies on it. Here's some pattern paper that's been stamped on. Janet sent us this package. She sent one to me and one to Tanya. And there's some words that have to do with fairies and fairy tales. There's some more pictures. And you can find pictures like this on the internet that are old enough that you can print them out. And she layered these things together really nicely for us. So we'll use those. Okay. I don't want to mess anything up. And then, save that one. This is a package from Deborah Adams. And she sent a package to Tanya as well. And in it, she's got some of the same images. These are printed in black on white tissue paper, and they're also printed in red, where it's really kind of a magenta. It's not red. It's a purpley color. And then she printed some bigger ones, or stenciled them. I think this was stencils onto this book page. Isn't that cute? And so she sent us some of those. And then one on a really big piece. So we have a lot of interesting, fun things that we can use, and we're really excited about it. But I don't want you to think that we've got this whole thing planned out, and because we don't. We have stuff to use, and we have a few ideas, and that's what we've got. So, and let's see who sent this. I'm trying to remember who sent me this. That wasn't an address on the front, so I have to. Oh, this is from Mina, and it's a cute little fairy, pages out of a cute little fairy book also. So those will be fun to use. I love that so many of y'all are wanting to help us with this. And there are a few things in here that I got from out of the here we go. This is what I was looking for. This was fussy cut stuff sent to me, and there's a few more little things that I could use in here that were sent to me. Linda cut these out, and you could buy 1 ounce of fussy cut stuff and ephemera at one of the Disabled Artists Foundation auctions. So I bought one, and there's some stuff in there that I might use. And then I got these things all came from Mindy. She's Mitzi on YouTube. So I've got 3 of these from her. And these are the same Cicely Mary Barker images. And then here's one that's a Christmas fairy. So those are going to be fun to use. And that one's a little fatter, so I'm not going to stick it back in here. But and someone else anonymously sent me these garden fairy bookmarks. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with them, but they'll be fun to work with. And luckily they only have an image on one side, so you know, if I glue them down, it won't mess up anything, which is nice. And there was also Butterfly Fairies stickers in with this, which is lovely. And so, and then this is elves. So it probably won't go in this project, but it'll be fun to do in another project. Anyway, those are the kinds of things that we're going to be working with in this book. And I hope that some of you will want to play along. And we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be doing it on Tuesdays at noon Central Time and Thursdays at 1 Central Time. And we're going to be trading back and forth between my channel and Tanya's channel. Each week we will switch. And we're going to start this book the first Tuesday in May. And I'm not sure what day that is, but it's the first Tuesday in May. And we're going to be on my channel for that week, which is next week. So gather some fun stuff together in a book. It doesn't have to be an old, you know, it could be a dictionary. It could be anything. Just something that you want to work in, and that you'd like to alter to some kind of a theme. And we would love for you to play along and post your pictures of what you're doing in our group, or videos. If you make videos, we would love to see videos of what you're doing too. So, all righty. God bless you, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.